Good afternoon. This is Vincent Russo of the Theresa Foundation, and I'm thrilled that you're here today to hear about the Theresa Pooled Trust. We're going to focus in on how Theresa Pooled Trust can empower beneficiaries by maximizing benefits and preserving assets. And so this program will run for roughly 30 minutes. Our speakers today are Elizabeth J. Einhart, the Executive Director of the Theresa Foundation, and Danielle Urcioli, Executive Director of the CLC Foundation, who are the trustees of the Theresa Pooled Trust. So in a minute, they'll introduce themselves. A little bit of housekeeping. Attendees are automatically muted. You can send us your questions in the Q&A box. You can send messages to other attendees in the chat box. We'll create a link to the recording, and we'll email that link to you. And we appreciate you leaving feedback in the survey. So today, we're going to start with a little bit of background on who we are as the Theresa Foundation. And with that, Elizabeth J. Einhart, our Executive Director.
Hello, and thank you all so much for taking the time this afternoon to attend this webinar. We're thrilled to have you here and talk about our foundation and our pooled trust. I'm Elizabeth Einhart. I am the Executive Director of the Theresa Foundation, and I am also Theresa's older sister. The Theresa Foundation was formed in 1991 in memory of my sister Theresa. Theresa was born with multiple disabilities. She had microcephaly and cerebral palsy. She was born with a seizure disorder in 1986. And when she passed away, the decision was made to start this foundation to help other children like Theresa, who responded so much to music and movement, and it really brought a lot of joy into her life. And so we wanted to share that with other children and all the other Theresas out there. Our mission is to support programs that focus on art, music, dance, drama, and recreation. This is a snapshot of our grant program from 2024. The grant program is really the cornerstone of the Theresa Foundation, and this is mainly how we show our support of the programs in the arts and recreation. And again, these numbers are from 2024, so I am confident to report to you that we have provided and supported more funds to more programs. But if we just look at 2024, we were able to provide $122,419 to 32 programs across 11 states and one country outside of the United States. And on this colorful wheel, you could see the breakdown of the categories in which the funds were provided. I will take a moment here to point out that recreation is just one of our larger categories, and I wanted to explain that our recreation category does include summer camps, not just sports and recreation, but also respite programs, life skills, and the like. And so it is quite a large category there. And this is a snapshot from 1995 to 2024. And again, this is last year's numbers. So I am confident to say that to date, we have provided over $3 million in grant funding to over 235 programs across the United States. And we have reached 6 countries outside of the United States. So when we started back in the early 90s, we were a little bit of a grassroots organization here, and we have grown substantially in our reach and our ability to provide these funds and reach more children in more programs across more states. So that's been wonderful. And I did want to talk just for another moment here about some of the programs so you can understand. It's one thing to talk about numbers, it's another to look at the kids and see the actual impact that we have. So these are all programs that we have provided grant funding to within the past year. The bottom center photo right there, that was taken at the Tilly Center, which is a performing arts center on Long Island, New York. And this is a branching out program. It's an immersive sensory theater program. This was a drama grant. And the children who participate have a variety of different special needs, and they are really immersed in the art. They're invited to the stage, and it's a really well thought out, comprehensive programming. And again, that's on Long Island. The top right corner of your screen, you'll see some dancers on a stage. This is National Dance Institute. That's out of Manhattan, and this is their Dreams project in which they do an inclusive dance and performance. And they do workshops with individuals with special needs, and then there is a larger performance on stage. But you can see, I mean, the top left corner is from a after school arts program. And of course, you'll see summer camp recreation at the bottom and equine therapy, which we provide many grants to equine therapy. Here we have in New York, we have Palamine, which we have supported over many years, which is out in Islandia on Long Island. And they provide therapeutic horseback riding to children with special needs. So we're really proud of our ability to enhance the lives of these children. And really, that is mainly due to our supporters and our Theresa Pooled Trust. So when you choose to open a Theresa Pooled Trust, any remaining funds go to help us expand these programs, support these programs, and put a smile on the face of a child with special needs. So any contribution is really impactful, and we thank you so much for taking the time again today to hear more about it.
Lizzie, that was great. Can you just share a little bit about Theresa's Fun Place?
I'd love to. So Teresa's Fun Place is a park and playground on the grounds of CP Nassau, which is in Roosevelt, New York. And on that property is also the Children's Learning Center, which has about 250 children at the Learning Center. That's actually where my sister Theresa did go to school. And the Theresa Foundation has committed to the renovation of the park and playground on that property to be a fully inclusive park and playground. It's adaptive. There are ramps, there are adaptive swings, there's a musical garden. I could go on and on because it's incredibly, like I said, detailed, thought out, and a lot of love went into that restoration and renovation. And we are committed to maintaining that park and playground for, like I said, over 250 children use that on a daily basis.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So your support is critical for us to be able to continue to provide these programs. And so now I want to transition to our Theresa Pooled Trust and share with you the three pooled trusts that we have established. One is the Theresa Pooled Income Trust. The second is the Theresa Pooled Asset Trust. And the third is the Theresa Community Trust. Let's look at the first one, the Theresa Pooled Asset Trust. This trust protects assets and income while allowing the beneficiary to qualify for Medicaid or Supplemental Security Income, SSI. So this is a critical component in allowing a beneficiary who has assets to qualify for Medicaid and protect those assets, which they can then benefit from. It might be that there's a malpractice lawsuit and a settlement. It could be that someone's in a car accident. So this is an exemption in the law that allows for assets to be protected while qualifying for Medicaid or SSI benefits. The beneficiary must be under the age of 65 when establishing the account and also be disabled. So if they qualify, then as I said, the assets can be transferred into a segregated account under the Theresa Pooled Asset Trust, and those assets are managed and maintained by the trustee. We'll hear from the trustee in a few minutes. And the individual will be able to either continue to receive those government benefits, or if they weren't on those government benefits, then they can qualify for those benefits. So someone can keep their assets in a protective way and receive Medicaid and or SSI benefits. Now, when the individual passes away, there's a requirement in the law that there be a payback to New York State for all Medicaid services provided. And there is also an exception. And the exception says that if you leave the funds to a charity, then, and meeting certain requirements, then there is no payback to New York State. So the Theresa Pooled Asset Trust is one of over 20 trusts that exist in New York. And this trust allows those assets that are remaining at the end to pass to the Theresa Foundation. And as Lizzie shared with you, we utilize those funds to support the programs for children with special needs. So when you're thinking about transferring assets into a pooled asset trust, and you look at the different trusts, you want to know more about the charity and how you could, in the end, help that charity as well. Now, there's no requirement to leave assets in the residuary fund account, which means that if, for example, someone transferred $100,000 into the Theresa Pooled Asset Trust and used those assets and the income generated from those assets over their lifetime, and when they passed, there was no money remaining, that's fine. That's great. You've maximized your benefits and you maximize the use of the assets and income. The second trust is a Theresa Pooled Income Trust. This trust protects income while qualifying for Medicaid or SSI benefits. It's a little different here because the beneficiary can be of any age who is disabled. There's no requirement to be under age 65 when it's set up. So this trust is often used for older adults who have filed for Medicaid home care services. And under Medicaid home care, if their income exceeds $1,820 per month, then the excess income must be spent down before Medicaid provides those services. The exception here is that if you take that excess income and it's transferred into the Theresa Pooled Income Trust on a monthly basis, then Medicaid steps in at dollar number one, and that excess money can be used to pay for living expenses, services not covered by Medicaid. So really allowing the individual to maximize their quality of life. It's a lifesaver. It's allowing seniors, older adults, to stay at home, receive Medicaid home care services, and use their income to pay for their rent or for the real estate taxes, their living expenses. Here again, if there's money remaining in the account, the segregated account, when the individual passes away, the proceeds will pass to the Theresa Foundation as an exception to the law that says the money must be paid to New York State. The money that will pass to the Theresa Foundation will support our programs for children with special needs. Now, the third trust is the Theresa Community Trust. Many parents come to us and say, you know, when I pass away, I want to leave assets for my child who has special needs, and I don't want to disrupt their access to government benefits. So this trust allows parents, interested parties, could be family members or friends, or people even in the community that want to leave assets for a child, someone under of any age with special needs. And those monies can be placed in this trust. The assets do not disrupt that individual's eligibility for Medicaid or for SSI benefits. The funds will be properly managed by the trustee. The funds will earn income, and that income, as well as the assets, can be used to enhance the quality of life of the beneficiary. So it's very broad. It can be any individual that you want to help, where you want to take your own funds and place it in a community trust account. In the typical situation, we have parents setting up these trusts for a child. So just to go over it again, it allows the beneficiary, a child, for example, to qualify or maintain government benefits. There's no payback to the state for Medicaid, and whatever funds remaining at the end, this is different than the other two pooled trusts. You will be able to direct where those funds go, with a portion passing to the Theresa Foundation. So all the funds do not go to the Theresa Foundation. A relatively small amount will pass to the Theresa Foundation, and the majority of the funds can pass to other family members, loved ones, or anyone that you want to leave an inheritance to. So it's a win-win situation. These three trusts allow asset protection, income protection, maximizing government benefits, and we're thankful that the law changed back in the 1990s to allow this to happen. Now, we have a website, the TheresaPooledTrust.org website, and this website will provide you with more information about the Theresa Foundation, the three trusts that I covered. Will give you information on how to establish an account with the Theresa Foundation. So I'm going to just quickly take a moment to show you the Theresa Pooled Trust website. This is our homepage. You'll see there are tabs at the top. There's an About Us tab, which will give you information on the Theresa Foundation and pooled trusts that we have. This tab, Our Trust, lists the three trusts that we currently are maintaining for individuals. The next tab is Trust Documents and Forms. So I'm going to click on that, and here you'll see that we've listed the documents that you'll need to establish a Theresa Pooled Trust. There'll be instructions on how to do it. There's a document called the Joinder Agreement, which you would sign. We share with you what the fees are to maintain the Theresa Pooled Trust account. And then there's additional information we want to know about the beneficiary. And then last, a copy of the actual trust document, the agreement that's in place. We can share with you that the Theresa Pooled Income Trust and Asset Trust have been approved by Medicaid. So we have submitted those trusts to the Medicaid office in New York City, and we've gotten a written approval certifying that these trusts are acceptable and will allow you to protect assets and income and qualify for Medicaid at the same time. There's no such requirement for the third trust with Medicaid, so we didn't need to do that. We have resources here, and this here again will give you various information. We have a FAQ, which will answer some of your questions, but please do not hesitate to contact us by calling us or emailing us, and we'll be more than happy to address any questions that you have. And here's the Contact Us tab. Hopefully the Theresa Pooled Trust website will give you a significant amount of information and instructions on how to join one of those three trusts. So now I am going to get back into the presentation here and hand it over to our trustee, CLC Foundation, and I'm thrilled to introduce Danielle Urcioli.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. So I am with CLC Foundation. We are a nonprofit trustee located in Westchester County, New York. We were founded back in 1992 by a local social worker who was helping local community members with special needs try to maintain some financial security and the benefits that they had while living in a local OPWDD group home. Vincent, if you could go to the next slide. So CLC Foundation has been practicing for over 30 years as a pooled trust administrator and a special needs trustee. We currently service over 400 beneficiaries a year throughout all of New York State and across the rest of the United States. We provide all of our beneficiaries an online platform which allows them to have direct access to their account activity, submit disbursement requests, print reports which may be needed for Social Security or Medicaid recertifications, as well as they have access to a credit card program which gives the beneficiary or their advocate direct access to funds and the independence to go shopping in the local community. So what our main goal for a trustee is to get to know our beneficiaries. This is critical when we need to know what public entitlements they receive, but also what they're eligible for. Our goal is to ensure that they maintain these public entitlements, such as Social Security, SSI, Medicare, Medicaid, Section 8 housing, and what benefits they could be eligible for that they're currently not receiving. This will help be more efficient and effective in the way that we utilize the money that is in the trust, but also can maximize the public entitlements that they're receiving. Getting to know our beneficiaries is also important when we know who their natural supports and advocates are. Is the beneficiary living in a supportive home environment? Are they well taken care of? How else can the trust be used to support their natural supports in the care that they need? And creating a budget. What is their reoccurring expenses? How can the money in the trust be best utilized to help support their financial means? If they're applying for a surplus income trust, their budget is going to mostly be their reoccurring expenses, their mortgage, their electricity. But if they have an asset trust, they have more flexibility in what their annual budget will be, as well as their monthly budget will be. Can they utilize this money for supplemental needs such as recreation, medical equipment, dental needs? Those are all approved expenses, as well as a pre-planned funeral arrangement for funeral planning in the future. Next slide, Vincent. So as a nonprofit trustee, we are responsible for all of the administrative work. So that includes following all of our internal policies and procedures, as well as the laws laid out to us by the Department of Health, Medicaid, and Social Security. We have a co-trustee, which reviews an annual audit, and they perform this in-depth audit, reviewing all of our transactions, compares that with our policies and procedures, as well as reviews the performance of our investment manager, who does the return on the trust. We are responsible for any annual accountings that go to the court, to HRA, and Social Security. We are also responsible for the annual tax filing for the trust, but we are also here to help support you if you need a personal tax return filed as well.
Danielle, what I hear often from individuals who have utilized the various pooled trusts is the expression of feeling great gratitude in that it's hard to find a trustee who's willing to manage an income trust with money coming in every month and paying bills every month, or parents who have a child with special needs. They don't feel comfortable with their options in selecting a trustee. And so the Theresa Pooled Trust really fill a vacuum. And the great work that you're doing as trustee, CLC Foundation, is really made a significant difference in the lives of so many people. Think of, if you're going to leave assets for the benefit of a loved one with special needs, and you're not sure or you're uncomfortable with your options on who you're going to leave that money with, the community trust it can really step in and fill that void. And for the first two trusts, maximizing government benefits can be a lifesaver, literally, allowing seniors, older adults to be at home under Medicaid home care, allowing children with developmental disabilities qualifying for benefits through OPWDD and Medicaid and SSI. So we ask that you consider the Theresa Foundation, our Theresa Pooled Trust, if there is a need to establish an account with a pooled trust. We've implemented best practice standards in maintaining these trusts and the administration of these trusts. We are thrilled, as I said, to have CLC Foundation be the trustee of our pooled trust with all of their years of experience in administering pooled trusts in New York State. And as we kind of laid the groundwork up front, the residuary funds are used to support programs for children with special needs in arts and recreation. So it really becomes a win-win situation for those who benefit from our pooled trusts. So we appreciate you taking the time today. I don't see at the moment any questions in the queue. So I'll move on to say that you can follow us on social media with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And before we end, Lizzie, any last words, or Danielle?
Yeah. Again, I just want to reiterate how grateful we are that you took the time to sit with us today and learn more about our pool trust and the potential for you to make a very large and meaningful impact for real life children in New York and around our country. Because really, when you look at the faces and you understand where all the funds go to, it really fills your heart with a lot of joy. That's the best part of the job I have, is really when we give the money away and we get to have that impact. And that's only possible through support of our foundation and our pool trust. So thank you so much again.
Thank you, Lizzie. Danielle?
Just as a follow-up, if there are any additional questions, you can always reach out to myself and my team at CLC Foundation. If you're questioning whether or not a pooled trust is the right choice for you, we can kind of walk you through the situation that you're going through and answer any questions that you may have for yourself or your loved one to ensure that you make the best decisions in selecting a pooled trust. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, we're happy, as Danielle said, we're happy to be a resource. No matter whatever your questions are, we're happy to respond and give you some direction and to help you. So thank you for attending. Have a great day. And as I mentioned, we will send a link for today's recording out to you as well. Take care.